Hi guys, today's day 2 of our photo correction project. Today we're going to work with color correction. We'll start by opening up our photo correction page and drop down to color correction. You can see that it's 10 points. We need to manipulate one photo that has overall bad or off color. Overall, meaning the whole picture is slightly off. We need to make sure we save the before and after. Save the project as color correction in your creative project folder, and you need to demonstrate your use of auto tone, auto contrast, auto color, and we're going to use the panel, the info panel. You have not used this before. This is something new. So let's go ahead and click on color correction, and I'm going to move over these steps into my other screen, and you can see we have Photoshop open. Okay. Now I'm going to open up my project. I'm going to go to Browse and Bridge. Now you guys use your own photos if you have them saved on your H drive. You don't have to go to the G drive to get a folder. Going back to the common G drive, and remember you can go to this PC and then look for the common G drive. It's called the PHS PFC common G drive. I still have a few people asking me about that. That's where I save all of the things that I want you to have access to. And then you don't have this page. This is an extra step that I have to go through. Then you go to Art and Computer Graphics. I'm going to go to the folder called Stock Photos. So hopefully you guys have your own pictures saved in your Stock Photos folder. Now I'm going to go to the folder that I labeled as color correction. All of these photos are really good examples of images that need some work for color correction. And I'm going to go to my daughter's 8th grade graduation, and the pictures are really yellow. So let's open this picture up. And it overall has a yellow or an off tone. All stage pictures have this. So we need to start by saving the before and after. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, and then you need to go to your H drive. Remember, my H drive says C. Schlebecker. Your H drive has your ID. Then you need to go to your Creative Project folder. Okay, as long as it says Creative. You guys made this folder the first couple days of class. So open that up. And then yesterday you made a folder called Altered Photos. Open that up, and then now I'm going to save this particular project as color correction before, and it's a JPEG. That's okay that it's a JPEG. I don't need to make it a Photoshop file. Now hit OK. Now I'm going to save the after, so I'm going to go to File and save as, and I need to save it as color correction after. And here, save as type. Very important to click that and save it as a Photoshop document. And hit save. Okay. So color correction. You guys know from Canvas the things that I want you to do. Today is going to be a short and sweet. You go to Image, Auto Tone, Image, Auto Contrast, Image, Auto Color. Using these 3 options in different orders will give you different results. So I want you to play around with undoing your actions and redoing your actions by doing these in different order. So the first thing, in order for us to look at our color, we need to go to the Info panel. So over here, oops, I moved the wrong thing over. So over here we're going to go to Window and then Info. Okay? Your document can be saved under 2 different formats based on how you're going to print it or how you're going to view it. It can be saved as an RGB document, which stands for red, green, and blue, or a CMYK, which has a little bit more information, which is a cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So if I'm planning on printing this image out and having it printed with a nice printer, I typically want to work with CMYK. If I just want this image as a lesson or practice or just to be seen on a computer screen, then RGB is perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do, you're noticing as I move my cursor around that all of these percentages for how much color is changed. Now this gentleman right over here with the blue hair, if I move over to him, the cyan is going to be pretty high because there's a lot of cyan. Cyan is a purplish bluish color. So you can see that the cyan is really high. It's 61% over in CMYK. If I look at the RGB, again, blue is going to be really high. It's 170. That information really doesn't do a whole lot for telling me the overall tone of the picture. What I need to do is to go to a neutral area, like one of these pieces of paper. The highlights, the extreme highlights, are probably not a good idea to go to. You really want something a little bit more neutral. I could go to this gentleman's, part of this gentleman's hat, or I could come over here to the paper, like I said before, this guy's shirt. Those are all good things to go for, but these extreme reflected light areas are probably not the best, although if I hover over this extreme light, you can see that yellow is 1%, so it still has a little bit of yellow even in the extreme highlights. But let's go over to this girl's paper, which is a very neutral piece of, and it's very neutral. You can see that my yellow has a 15% overall color tone compared to the rest of the percentages. Same thing over here. It looks like I have a 4%, still pretty high in this guy's shirt. Yellow is still the highest tone, which is 34%. Ideally, you want all of the tones in cyan, magenta, yellow, and black to be very equal. You want them to all be within a couple percentage points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with the different options. So we can go to Auto Color and watch how the tone changes when I click this. It took away a lot of that yellow. Let's check out this piece of paper. Yellow is still very high at 12%, but the Photoshop added in some cyan magenta at 7 and 2%. So now I'm going to go to Image, Auto Contrast. Let's look and see what it is. Still really high. And then now I'm going to go to Image, Auto Tone. Okay, so yellow is still high at 10%. And then I'm going to come over here to this gentleman's shirt, and it's over at 14%. So let's undo a couple of times. Or we can go to our history panel and move this over here so you guys can see it better. Looks like I'm going to have to open up. And here's the before, very yellow. And here's the after. Big difference. So if we go to the before and we look at this piece of paper, we have to open our info panel back up. Our yellow was up at 16, 18%, really high over here in his shirt. I'm up at 45%, 10, and only 18% for cyan, and then 1% over here in his shirt. So my after I've gone through all of these steps, I can see that I'm all the way down to 7%, and then in some areas 1% for cyan. Let's look over here, and everything over here is equal at all 0 percentages. So though it's not perfect, which it's not going to be because we have a lot of extreme light coming down, this still looks a lot better than what it looked like before. And what you can do is you can go back and open up and change and go back to your original image, and then try these in a different order. This time you might want to go to Auto Tone first, and then Auto Color, and then Auto Contrast, and let's see what we have. Yellow is much higher here. not quite as leveled out. So I think doing the auto color first helped a little bit more. So image, auto color, image, auto contrast, that didn't really do a whole lot, and then image, auto tone, let's take away the auto tone. I think I like the auto tone. It tends to add the best image. So just save your work, file, save. If you want to go through and do any corrections to your piece, you can crop it down, do some extra work to make your piece just a little bit more nice. You can go through and do any corrections. If there's something you want to take out, you can do that. Use your cloning tool. If there's any corrections where you can use your patch tool or your healing brush, if they're old photos, you could do something like that. That would be nice. It's up to you. So save your work and have it ready to be graded on Friday.